Hey, before you start installing solar on your RV, I want you to know a lot of big panels are having some big problems. I have some really disastrous and bad news, especially if you're an RV owner or service technician and are looking to put solar panels on the roof of an RV. I just had a customer call me and tell me that tragically the brand new solar panels that they just installed over the summer are already failing. The good news is we're not talking about smaller RV size solar panels like these, or a small installation like this one on this Outback, or even a larger array made out of bigger panels that are still RV size like this one. What we're talking about are great big huge residential size solar panels like this, especially the bifacial solar panels, which means there's solar cells on both sides of the glass. Like you should be able to see on this panel right there, there's solar cells underneath. Now, as a longtime advocate for large RV solar panels like this, I don't want to sound like an alarmist, except there is a reason to be alarmed. The problem and failure seems to be coming from the choice of these very large residential sized panels. Not because of how it's mounted, but because of how it's being used. And now that I'm up here on the roof looking at it, I can see what my customer was talking about. Unsurprisingly, when you're trying to build a large solar array, it's usually nice to just use great big huge panels like this rather than panels half the size where you have to use twice as many panels and of course twice as many connections. But unlike RV size solar panels, which are a lot smaller when it comes to the square footage of the glass right there to the actual aluminum framing around it, these massive 550 watt bifacial solar panels were not intended to be driven down the road and suffer vibrations. While it might be a little bit difficult to see through my camera, there's a dip in the middle of that panel right there, and in the middle of that panel right there, and that panel right there. So now over time, as it gets hotter and hotter, the glass itself is starting to deform under the weight of the solar array and the solar cells on both sides, which capture sunlight and power from both sides and superheat the glass. But also, to improve efficiency and reduce weight and cost, they make the glass a heck of a lot thinner. But they do not offset the lack of structure by adding more framing underneath. So while these supports might be fine based on the installation requirements from the solar panel manufacturer, they didn't keep in mind that the whole thing's bouncing on suspension driving down the road because they weren't set up for anything other than a residential installation. Or possibly a commercial installation.